What's up, everyone? Today I'm going to go through what I do when I've come down with a bug because it pisses me off. I hate it when I get sick. I've got too much I want to do every single day, so I have no time to be laid up in bed. It drives me nuts. I'm sure you can relate. If you already subscribed to the channel, welcome back. If you're new to me, my name is Dr. James Nall. I am a chiropractor. I used to practice functional medicine. I gave that up years and years ago after I realized it's nothing more than an expensive wild goose chase that makes you feel like you're doing something but doesn't actually heal you. I found medical medium protocols in 2016, never looked back. And I do have a coaching program, but I understand not everyone's going to be willing or able to jump into that with me. So I did want to provide some free value to those of you who are looking to DIY some medical medium principles. All right, so right off the bat, here's a common misconception that I hear constantly, and it's just not true. And the idea is like, well, if someone's healthy or they're eating healthy or taking good supplements, they're just never going to get sick, right? That's not the reality. Like if you're out in the world, you're going to get sick. It's going to happen. It's okay. It doesn't mean you failed or anything like that. And I mean, the other end of that spectrum, I know of people who never seem to get sick a day in their life, but they died of cancer very early. So, what does that tell you? But yes, there is truth to like the more good things that you're doing with foods and supplements, the stronger your immune system is going to get. Your white blood cells are going to become freaking rock stars at killing off bugs that don't belong in the body. So yeah, you're not going to suffer as much as you otherwise would. And you'll get over that bug much quicker than you otherwise would if you're doing the right things. But that can also take a while. It could take a while to build up the strength of your white blood cells. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen in a month. It might not even happen in a couple months. It depends on all these variable factors. So that being said, let's get into it. So what do I do when I've got the illness, when I'm not feeling good? Number one is rest. That's pretty obvious. I'm gonna let my body have some time off, which I don't like doing. It's not fun for me. I don't like laying on the couch watching TV. But, there's no sense in going out and trying to like force yourself to do things. My goal is to just get over this as quick as possible. Rest plays a big role there. Fluids, that's another very obvious one. We'll talk more about what that looks like. Healing foods. So, this is not a time I'm really going to be loading up on like clean potato chips or, clean ingredient cakes and cookies or anything like that. I'm going to stick to the foods that are antiviral, that are going to support my immune system because I'm all business in this situation. And then supplements. These can play a huge role in getting you to the end of the illness as quickly as possible. And I'll go over more about what that looks like. So rest is rest, nothing really to discuss there, but let's talk about hydration. Because when you're battling a bug, your body is using up lots and lots of good things like electrolytes. So you want to replenish constantly. So lemon water, or you could do lime water all throughout the day. Coconut water. Make sure it's not pink or red and it doesn't have any funny ingredients added to it. Coconut water is an amazing hydration tool. Celery juice, incredibly hydrating. Tons of antiviral properties in there. That's a great one. And then cucumber juice. This is actually really good if you have a fever. This naturally helps to bring that fever down. So you just want to make sure that you are drinking, at least sipping on these all throughout the day. You just want to flood your body with good hydration. Now, if you're just drinking like reverse osmosis water or even spring water, like, okay, yeah, like it's better than not drinking anything at all, but you really want to bring that stuff back to life more with a squeeze of fresh lemon or a squeeze of fresh lime, because it doesn't have as much vitality or amazing properties as it once did, right? And so when you add that fresh lemon or lime juice, that does kind of bring it back to life. And you just want to get in that habit, ideally, of anytime you're drinking water any day, just give it some fresh lemon, some fresh lime. It tastes great, and it does your body a ton of good. In terms of the celery juice and cucumber juice, for adults, you want to be drinking at least 16 ounces, right? And the more you can handle, it's only going to help you out. This might not be the best time if you're only accustomed to drinking 16 ounces, you might not want to jump up to 64 or even 32 right off the bat, but that's up to you. All right, so foods, what are we talking about here? The antiviral foods, they're fruits, vegetables, herbs, potatoes, things like that. Pretty standard affair. So you can, mix them up, tomato, cucumber salad with some fresh parsley, cilantro, and some raw honey on top. There's lots of different ways that this can look, and that's not the purpose of this video to get into that. But all those fresh produce section foods, going to be beneficial here. A broth. You can make the traditional healing broth from the medical medium world. It tastes really good. It's very healing. It's kind of like the same idea of when we were kids and you're like, oh, you got to have chicken noodle soup if you're sick. Bunch of garbage in there that we now know would actually prevent you from healing as quick as you want. But if you just take the nice part of that, the broth part, and you make that, you can sip on that all throughout the day. That's an amazing, it actually tastes really good. It's really satisfying. You can leave the vegetables in there, or you can just have the broth, whichever way you want to go. That's a really useful tool. All right. And this is probably what everyone's really trying to find out. What supplements do we go to when we're knocked out with a bug? And yeah, I do lean heavy on supplements if I've caught a bug, for sure. And I try to get on these as soon as I recognize that I've been exposed and I might be coming down with something. So usually for me, it's a little bit of a sore or scratchy throat. Man, I've just trained myself to, as soon as I feel that, I get on especially zinc quickly. And I get on vitamin C, and I up all these, right? Now, for dosages, I'm not going to go into that. There's some info in some medical medium books. Brain Saver Recipes has some really cool shock therapies that are very helpful. But yeah, I mean, just for reference, if you look at like the recommended dosage on supplements, for me, that's like a decent like maintenance dose. Like I'm just kind of trying to maintain, like I'm not really trying to do anything above and beyond. So when I'm sick and I'm trying to move the needle faster and I'm trying to get that extra punch from these healing supplements, I go way past that recommended dose. Might not be right for you, but that's what I do. And I'm taking these things multiple times a day. Vitamin C and zinc, top two immune supplements. They kill pathogens and they strengthen your white blood cells. That's the name of the game. That's what we want to do, first and foremost. Now, for me personally, there's lots of good antiviral, antibacterial supplements out there. Herbs, there's lemon balm, cat's claw, licorice root. There's a bunch of them out there. You can't go wrong. They're all going to help to some degree. But my favorites, what seem to pack the most punch for me, are Golden Seal and Propolis. Now, Golden Seal, for me, has a more strong reputation as an antibacterial herb, right? And it's a fantastic, it's my favorite antibacterial herb, but it's also a great antiviral herb. So I'm taking this all throughout the day. Propolis is an amazing antiviral compound. And again, I'm taking this all throughout the day. That's what seems to move the needle. And that's pretty common. Most people will get, especially maybe more with the propolis. Maybe Golden Seal is maybe a little more my thing, kind of. But that's what I do. And again, like I'll stay on these at much higher doses than I usually take until I'm in the clear, or at least I'm very close to knowing that I'm back to normal. So just to wrap this up, no shame. Like we all are going to catch bugs. It's going to happen. No sense pretending like it's not. But the name of the game should be like, when you're not sick, like you're doing all this stuff to support your immune system, strengthen your white blood cells, clean out old junk that these bugs can go feed on when they get into your body. You got to remember that's another thing. Like, a lot of these foods that feed pathogens like eggs, dairy, and gluten, they stay like in your liver for like 3 months. So when a bug comes in, it can go find those old stores of that food, can feed off of them, and become more powerful than it otherwise would have been. Whereas if you haven't been eating those foods, you've cleansed out the remnants, there's nothing for it to feed on, you're in much better shape. I can promise you that if you have not been eating these foods that fuel pathogens for a while, your trajectory through whatever bug you caught is going to be much easier than it otherwise would have been. So yeah, hopefully we're all working towards, when we are exposed to a bug, our internal environment is in such good shape that it's going to be the least problematic. That's the goal. Let's see what we can do to have like the least bad time with this bug and kill it off, be done with it as quickly as possible. It's a very reasonable expectation, but you do need to be doing the right things even when you're not sick to set your body up so it's in a position to be able to accomplish that when you are exposed to a bug. All right, hope that helps. That's it for today.